Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Sunday. We did it. Welcome to FST Kids. This is our online version. My name is Pastor Pedro. I am the kids pastor at FST or Faith St. Thomas, whatever you want to say. So welcome to FST online. So I have a couple questions. First one, I'm sure you might know if you've seen us or watched before, but do you have your church socks on? You do? Oh, let me see. Oh, 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 I like those ones. Those are cool. Good job. Hey, I have mine on too. Um, I just reached in my drawer. I kind of got a Mario theme going on again. If you haven't noticed, I kind of like Mario and Nintendo. And then pizza and tacos. Let's see. I have my stars and my firepower ones. These ones? Yeah. We've seen these before. I like these ones. They're kind of fun. And then on the other side, I have a whole bunch of Marios. I got Marios and a star and stuff, just a whole bunch of colorful Marios. I thought that was pretty good. Well, thanks for wearing your church socks. We love wearing church socks. I was out this week in the community, and I saw some of my friends from our FST Kids ministry, and they had their church socks on, and I was so excited because they wanted to show me. So thanks so much for showing me your church socks, because that's how we feel a part of community, as well as it gives us an opportunity to share the message of Jesus. So we've been learning about Moses and the people of Israel. And so Moses, he was a baby, and then he grew up, and he freed the Israelites, and then there was plagues in Egypt, and then the Israelites complained, and they got fed manna from God, and then they still complained. And then last week, we learned about the 10 Commandments. And so Moses, he went up to the mountain, and if you remember, we had a little drawing of a mountain, and then a cloud, and then Moses' little feet hanging out, and he got the 10 Commandments from God, wrote them on stone tablets, brought the stone tablets down. And that's where we are. And the people of Israel are wandering around complaining. And we're going to learn about how they found the promised land. And Moses sends in 12 spies to go check it out for 40 days. And they all bring back a report. Some are good, some are bad. And then, but the thing is that God makes sure that makes our life good. And he wants us, or he wanted the Israelites to have that promised land. And there was big giant grapes, and there was milk, and there was honey, and there was all sorts of land, all that kind of good stuff. And we see how God wanted to provide for his people. And so we're going to learn the story about the Israelites going into the promised land. All right, so check out the videos, and I'll be right back.
And I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. You know something? Even when I'm feeling like things are rotten to the core and I feel like I'm ready to quit, God always has a plan, and it's good. There's a story I'd like to tell you, and here's how it goes. God's people, the Israelites, had a really hard time believing and trusting that God wanted to make their life good. And wouldn't you know it, they let fear get in the way of all the good things that God had for them. You see, there was this land way out yonder that God promised to give them. The Israelites had never been there before, so they didn't rightly know what to expect. Figuring they should sneak a peek, Moses sent Joshua, Caleb, and 10 other fellows to go in and take a look. Well, once the men got to the promised land, they could not believe their eyes. By golly, this place was the best thing they had ever seen. They saw that there were big old grapes, so large that it took 2 of them to carry just one branch. And the land, whoo-wee, it was so perfect that they said that it was even flowing with milk and honey. They loved all that they were seeing, but there was just one tiny problem. Well, I guess you'd say it was a big problem. There were some mighty tall and powerful people living in there. That's right, these people were taller than a West Texas cactus and meaner than a 2-headed rattlesnake. Not the kind of people you want to mess with, I'm here to tell you that right now. Now the 12 men, they hightailed it out of there and went back to Moses to tell him what they saw. Well, 10 of the men told Moses that the land was as good as it gets, but they sure were scared. They couldn't see any way that their lives would be good with such giants living there with them. They were saying all kinds of nonsense about looking like wee little grasshoppers compared to those people, and they might as well not even bother with them. But then there were 2 other men, Joshua and Caleb. Now they had a different story to tell. They told Moses all about the good things in the land, and they had the faith and believed that because God had promised them a good life, that they could have it. They told everyone they shouldn't be afraid because God was with them. But when the Israelites heard the report, they were still scared and shaking in their boots. And even though this was God's plan for them all along, they let their fear get the best of them and decided not to go into the land. All of that belly aching, it didn't go well for the Israelites. Do you know they had to wander around for another 40 years before they could enter into the promised land? That's a mighty long time to wait, wouldn't you say? I bet the minute they got in there, though, they were a hooping and a hollering, happy as a horsefly. You know, even when the going does get tough, we can know that God really does make our life good. When we trust in Him and we do what He says, well, we can experience all the good things He has planned. And that's something you can tip your hat to.
God makes my life good. For today's Rootin' Tootin' Review, we'll pan for gold to see if we can remember something we learned today. After hearing today's question, we'll start panning. When you see gold letters, call them out. See if you can guess the answer before they all unscramble. In today's Bible story, who chose to obey God and trust that He had good things for them? Joshua and Caleb. Even when their circumstances seemed scary, they trusted God. Because they obeyed Him, Joshua and Caleb got to experience the good things God had planned for them.
So what'd you think? Good, right? Learn about the promised land, and we learn that God makes my life good. And so we see the Israelites. The problem, though, is that the Israelites, they complain and complain and complain, and they're going to have to wait 40 years. They're going to wander 40 years in the wilderness before they ever make it to the promised land, because instead of seeing all the positive things they could do, they were scared of the people that were there. They were scared that God wasn't going to be with them. And God's like, no, I'm here to make your life good. And they were complaining. And so the Israelites had to wait 40 years before actually getting to the promised land. How are you guys doing your memory verse? Good? So we're going to practice. We have some actions if you haven't seen it. So you know what? I'm not going to put the memory verse up this time. What? I have it here, just in case. But we're going to try and do it here. I'll flip the page over. We're going to try and do it without the paper. Does that sound good? So there's actions. Are you ready? Let's try. So we know that God is always at work for the good of everyone who loves Him. They are the ones God has chosen for His purpose. Romans 8:28. Good, right? I'd love to see, if you know your memory verse, send me a video. I'd love to see where you guys are. I'll give you guys some sour keys. If you're in our in-person, you're still watching this, and you want to practice our memory verse, no problem. You can practice. Then you can come see me after, and we'll get you some sour keys for the next week. If you are joining us in person or wondering what we do, we have our in-person service on Sundays at 10 a.m. It's all in our chapel at the FST campus, and we do some songs, we do some worship. If you're in our Facebook group, you'll see a few of our live streams. Sometimes we have some technical difficulties, but we've been trying our best to put a live stream up just so you guys understand and can see what we do at Kids Church. If you're on our YouTube channel, make sure to check out the description, because our Facebook page is there. You can be added as a member, as a parent. You can get all the resources. There's a community of people there that love to share pictures of our church socks and hanging out and see what we're doing this week. But thanks for joining us. At the end of FST Kids, we always pray. So put your hands to the side just like this. Yep, good job. And then we're going to spell the word pray, and it goes like this: P-R-A-Y. And we bow our heads and we close our eyes. God, thanks so much for this day. Thank you that you want to make our life good. And God, as we see the example for the Israelites and Moses, and you wanted to give them the promised land, but the problem was the people of Israel. And sometimes, God, that's our problem. Sometimes you want to give us good things, and sometimes we resist, or sometimes we don't think it's right, or sometimes we are just not willing to give everything we have to you. God, I pray you bless us anyway. God, I pray for all the moms and dads and grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, friends, everybody represented that's watching, and everyone at home. And help us have an amazing week at school. Help us have a good day throughout the week at home. And I pray that we'll just give everything to you as you bless us. And thank you so much. In Jesus' name, amen. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, love God and love others. And I'll see you guys later.